Hey guys, and happy Halloween! Well, this is a review I wanted to do a few days ago, but fortunately I didn't have the time to do it, I was just busy, and I just thought I'd save it for Halloween. And today's review is going to be on Wrong Turn 4, Bloody Beginnings. I actually like the Wrong Turn movies. I have the other ones. First one, second one, and the third one. Well, I like the first two, but I was actually disappointed with the third one, to tell you the truth. But no offense to the people who made it, I just didn't really like. I just didn't really like it. Sorry. Now let's get on to the fourth installment to the Wrong Turn series, Wrong Turn 4, Bloody Beginnings. This is a prequel to the first Wrong Turn movie. Well, of course you already knew that from the title, Bloody Beginnings. Which actually I thought was a pretty original title, so something like Wrong Turn 4, The Beginning, Wrong Turn 4, The Origin. So, definitely an original title. Well, this movie starts out in the 70s, and we see the three mutant hillbilly cannibals from the first movie. It was, I remember their names were something like Three Fingers, One Eye, Razor Jaw. We see them as kids, like probably about like in their 20s at the at a mental institute. We got like to know them a little bit through like the beginning of the movie, like some of their origin. Like the doctor that works there just explains some of their origin, where they got their names from, and also explains like how they're like hard to kill, since we saw like in the previous movies that they were like shot, burned, and somehow they're still alive. Okay, so we got to find out through this movie that they were like born with some sort of defect, and they feel no pain, and so that's basically why they're hard to kill, so they don't feel any pain. And then sorry. And so we see them in the mental institute, and they escape from their cell and release the other like mutants that were in there, and the other mental patients, and they cause havoc around the mental institute, killing people that work there, killing the doctor. And then after that it cuts to like 2003, which is actually in the same year of the first movie. So I'm guessing this like takes place like about like months before the first movie. Sorry, taking a while, I guess. It takes place months before the first movie. And during 2003, this year takes place in, there's these college students that go on a snowmobile trip, which is actually, just to interrupt a little bit, is this movie takes place during the winter. I thought that was an original idea, since the other movies took place during the summer, so we have something new in this one. Okay, now let's get back to that. So they go on a snowmobile trip, go up to a cabin in the woods, but now they just get lost, and so they take a wrong turn. And that wrong turn leads them right to that mental institute that we saw in the very beginning of the movie, but now it's all abandoned. It's all wrecked inside, right? Obviously because of what happened in the beginning years ago, and no one works there. There's no patients there anymore. It's all abandoned after what happened. And so they go inside there for warmth and shelter, and decide to have a good time while they're there as well. But little do they know, that's right, the three mutant hillbilly cannibals are actually there. They're actually living there. And I'm gonna admit I was a little confused about them living there, because in the first one they were living in a cabin, but now this one they're living in a mental institute, abandoned mental institute. But I could probably take a wild guess. Maybe they live in the mental institute for like a second home, and probably they just live there maybe for like the winter, because obviously a cabin would be too warm. And so these characters get picked off one by one in pretty gruesome fashions. Overall, I thought this movie was actually pretty decent. I mean, it was definitely better than the third one. And this movie was directed by Declan O'Brien, who directed the third movie. When I heard he was directing, I'm going to admit I did have some low expectations, but I was still going to see it because I'm a fan of the Wrong Turn movies, and maybe he could improve with this one. And actually, I thought he did improve. This was definitely an improvement over the third movie. Definitely better. Definitely, definitely better than the first. I mean, sorry, definitely better than the third one. Not better than the first one, second one though. But the things that didn't make this one better than the first one and the second one were like did have just some downfalls though. Like downfalls would be like some pretty bad acting. Like the acting in this was definitely bad. But the special effects were definitely an improvement over the special effects from the third one, because special effects from the third one were definitely very bad, very cheesy, and so special effects in this were definitely an improvement. I mean, we had like death scenes that actually looked more real in this one. Like there's just spoilers alert, just in case you don't want to watch it from here. Like we saw this guy getting his arms and legs ripped off on this machine, and it looked real. And we saw the cannibals tying this guy down onto a table with barbed wire, and then cutting big chunks of his flesh off and burning them up in some hot oil and eating them. That looked real. But there were some special effects that were just a little cheesy. Like there was a special effect for this girl's head getting cut off. It was just somewhat cheesy, but it was still gross. Yeah, so just my big complaint was the acting. The acting was like the thing that definitely ruined it just a little bit. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad overall. The ending was just a little predictable, but the thing about prequels is like the ending's like kind of always predictable in prequels. So I'm not going to complain too much about that. And so I thought this was decent overall. Like it was definitely better than what I expected. I mean, like, for one thing, there were other two horror movies that came out over the weeks. It was the Howling Reborn and Hellraiser Revelations, and this movie came out the week after those two movies. And to tell you the truth, I actually thought this was better than both Howling Reborn and Hellraiser Revelations. And if you saw my Hellraiser Revelations review, I actually thought that was a decent movie as well, but I think I like this one more. And unfortunately, I didn't do a Howling Reborn review, but I'm just gonna like say I thought that was decent as well, but I like this one more as well. So this was a pretty good slasher movie, and definitely, in my opinion, worth checking out. An improvement over the third one, which I was surprised about. I mean, I read some reviews saying that this was an improvement over the third one, and I agreed. But was it like the best one out of them all? Fortunately, not. The best one I would probably think would be the first one. The second one was definitely really good. Third one, didn't like that one. But this one was decent. Definitely worth checking out. And for one thing, I'm definitely gonna say I want a Wrong Turn 5 now. I mean, like, I'm not too sure what Wrong Turn 5 would take place though. If it would take place in between this one and the first one, or it would take place after the third one, because that's something I want, is something that takes place after the third one. And so, I think that's about wraps up my review for Wrong Turn 4, Bloody Beginnings. I thought this was a decent movie overall, worth checking out. If you're a Wrong Turn fan, I think maybe you would like this. And I'd probably say that's about it. Alright, that wraps up for this review. Stay tuned for more reviews in the future, and happy Halloween, everyone.